What's going on, everyone? Welcome. This is the Warehouse Series, and today is Discord Friday. I appreciate you guys for joining. If you're brand new, subscribe to the channel. Join Discord. That link is in the description below. If you want to support the channel, you can either donate or you can shop at my eBay store, leave comments, and give me a thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate the interactions on my channel. So I want to tell you that we are going to talk about stacking on totes today, but I also want to reiterate the cube. Now, I've talked about stacking on totes in the past, but guys, with all my videos, I have no idea what video I talked about it on. We got some new people over on Discord, so I want to make sure I reiterate and tell you how important it is to do totes, and knowing that cube is so important. So let's start off with this one right here. So this is probably roughly around an 80 cube pallet. We got about maybe a 55, 25 around there. Guys, know your cube. If your cube does not tell you in your headset, like, hey, we got an 80 cube pallet coming up, all one store, then you need to start learning your warehouse. Let's say this is about 105 cases. All right, so we start at 20 out, we end up 25 out, we have 105 cases. Write it down, guys. Grab an extra delay sheet, grab a pencil. Hey, I start in 20, I end in 25 out, I have 105 cases. That gives me about one pallet up to my forehead if I'm 6 foot tall, and that's another one maybe about a little lower than waist high. Start writing that stuff down, so when you get that part of the warehouse again, you know exactly how big these pallets are going to be, and eventually it's just going to come naturally where you're just going to remember it all. But it's so important to know to get that visual of that end product before you throw the first case. I promise you it is so important, and these cases that are placed back here are irrelevant, but let's take a look at the front pallet. And the reason why I said the cases back here are irrelevant because we're just finishing off the order. But this right here is perfectly done. So the tidy cats back here, we're in the middle. But if we're building a nice big pallet, we want these tidy cats on a corner because they're going to supply, just give us that nice sturdy corner we're looking for. But what a beautiful pallet, guys. We're stacking on blue wood, which is awesome. You always want to do that if you can. You're staying in the perimeter of the pallet. Awesome. You know, you're doing a great job there. We're keeping big, thick cases on the corners. All right. And we wait patiently for our time to tie in. All right. And this is just a beautifully done pallet. Great job. And know your cube. Know your cube. I love this one right here. We start off with canned goods. We go into a little bit of flour. We got some dog food, and then we top it off, guys. We got a slip sheet in here, which is great whenever you're working with bags. But look how solid this base is. All right. And what do I say? The thicker boxes, whatever the bigger boxes of the section of the warehouse you're in, should be towards the corners, and keep all the small cases in the middle. And we did just that. Look at this. Look at all the small cases in the middle, and we got the bigger cases on the corners. That is going to help you have a stronger pallet. Establish the base, column stack. All right, when you establish a base. So also, I always like bringing this up as well. So if you have the Vocalex system like we have at our warehouse, and I get right here, I'm going to say how much more. If you have that command, I promise you it is a very good command. How much more? You have 20 cases left at 18 locations. Column, column, column. We're column stacking. We're going to get that done as soon as possible because we took the time down here to build a nice base, and now we're just going to top this off, and we're going to column stack it to make sure we get done very fast. All right, guys, this is, I'm telling you, I'm here to teach you shortcuts and here to teach you how to get the most time built up on these orders. So let's go right to the next one. Also, cube. So two different things I would do here. This is about a 40 cube pallet, all right, 40, 45 cube pallet. If I hear that I got a one pallet order, it's 45 cube, I'm gone. I am throwing this as fast as I can, and I'm going to column stack it exactly like they did. Now, if I have a one pallet order that's 65, 70 cube, and I know it's a full pallet, I'm going to tie this base in. I can guarantee I'm going to tie that. I'm going to take a little bit more time to tie the base in, because if I do not tie the base in, I have a really good probability of dropping this pallet. But if I try to, if we have a 40, 45 cube pallet, we just want to column stack, get it done as fast as possible. So pay attention to your cube. It is very important. All right, guys, freezer pallet. It's a little blurry because it was a video and I froze it, but I love just stick to the basics, guys, in freezer. It seems like column stacking is the way to go. You get light cases, keep them together. Now, remember what I said before. When you have a bulk of heavy cases like this and big cases, the lower on the pallet, the better. So me personally, I would have just shot this white case out and dropped these 3 cases down. Even though it's 1 layer, it's still important that if we can get the weight to come down the pallet, it's just going to be that much sturdier. I would have moved this white case somewhere else and dropped this down. Is this pallet going anywhere? No, but it's just a good habit to get into, and that's why I'm talking about it. But great job on this freezer pallet. Let's get on to the next one. All right, so let's talk about totes. So one thing I did inquire with one person on Discord that posted pictures with totes as a base. Is this an Alpha Bravo or is this one order? And they said it's one order. So I want to specifically talk to people that have one order. Alpha Bravo, you have to stack them on both pallets. That means it's 2 different orders. If you guys are new, Alpha Bravo is like, the front pallet's one store, the back pallet's another store. Although this person did a great job of stacking. This is probably, but these are 2 pretty tall pallets. So a breaker pallet would have made this a lot bigger. You did a great job. Let me just tell you, whoever stacked this, you did a great job. But me personally, what I would have done if both of these pallets are the same store. So we got totes are what, a 6 block? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're a 6 block. And it looks like we got 2 rows of totes back there too. If I have 2 pallets like this, I'm putting all my totes on 1 pallet because I do not want to stack on them. I would rather start a fresh pallet of stacking on wood. So all my totes are going to go on 1 pallet, and then I'm going to start stacking my bigger cases on the back to build a base. And then once I get about waist high on both pallets, I'm just going to go back and forth and top them off. So I do want to say that on this. If it's the same store, put all your totes on 1 pallet. You're probably going to stack a lot faster. All right, this one right here, and this is the reason why I don't. Is this the same order? No, I don't think it is. I think this is somebody else's order. But so what would you do here? I don't like this. So this is a 7 block. These totes are in a 7 block, so they're smaller totes. So I probably, I don't know about this one. This is a rough one. I don't know what's on this back pallet. I don't think it's the same order we just looked at because that front pallet was built really well. This is rough. Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. We got the Sunny D. I want to start putting these cases in because if you go this direction, we're asking for trouble. Every time with this here, I'll go right to the cross and tee. If you have a slip sheet nearby, maybe throw a slip sheet down. It'll alleviate some of the dipping of the cases. But if you come across these cases and have the bigger cases coming inwards and keep your small cases in the middle like the cross and tee, I think you're going to get a better outcome than this. This is just throwing and going after you stacked your totes. Because you could stack all your totes on the front of the pallet, then start stacking up the back on wood. But I would love to know what's on this back pallet. It's a tough one. We got a 7 block of the totes. Yeah, I would have to see this back pallet to say how I would do this differently. But I think if you crossed and tee this on the top part of the totes, it would be a lot better than what it is. I'm sorry that I can't help you out any more than that. Keep taking your pictures because unless this is the back pallet, you know what? I think this is. I want to say I took this. You know what? I think this is. This is the person that I asked if they had the same order or not. So if this is the case, then these 4 cases, these 4 totes would have been on the front pallet. I would have put all my totes on the front pallet. I would have done the same thing I just said. All the totes on 1 pallet, build a base on the second pallet, and then and then you could start working both pallets at one time. So base, totes front, make a base, and then use all this Sunny D and everything, make a second base, and then start building both of your pallets together. But the less totes, all right, the less totes you have to stack on, the better your pallets are going to look. So even if this was a 1 pallet order and I started off with 4 green totes, I'm stacking all 4 green totes right up the corner of my jack. I don't want to stack on them. So I'm going to just stack them right up the front, and I'm going to have more wood to put the Sunny D and all these cases on. Guys, when you're selecting totes, the least amount of totes to stack on, the better off your pallet's going to be. Don't put 4 down like this, stack 4 straight up. All right, guys, that's it for today. I hope I helped you guys. Like I said, I don't want this to feel rushed. I did put this video together prior to today. So I just wanted to make sure I get this out, but please keep posting your pictures on totes. If you have any more questions, leave it in the comments section or just hit me up on Discord and I will try to help you out a little bit more. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. I will see you guys next time. Have a great one.